Hello everypony! It's come to my attention that during some of my experiences at pony conventions, I've actually ran into comments as well as newbie con goers who tend to ask me a frequent question: how can I get through a convention? Well, hopefully with my expertise, guidance, and this video to boot, Twink and I will provide you with tips, facts, and some advice on how to attend and survive through your first pony convention. Just a heads up, the following is based off my own experience and from advice of some of my friends, and it's pretty subjective at best. This information could also be used for other conventions as well, not just pony cons. You are free to listen or completely ignore it, but with that out of the way, let's get down with the guide. First thing to attack is finances. I'm not gonna lie, conventions can be very expensive endeavor and can vary on prices depending on your location between your residence and the convention itself. Congratulations if the con you're attending is within your home state and all you have to do is drive there, or take a train, or a taxi. Either way, all you gotta worry about is gas money or travel fare and then covering your hotel bill for at least 4 nights. However, if you are that unlucky pony, much like myself, where all the cons are held to, say, Chicago, or Baltimore, or California,
or across the planet,
then flight fare has to be taken into account, and that's where prices go up. The safest bet when you are wanting to save up for a con that's being held on the west or east coast of the US is usually between $400 to $500. This money is meant to cover your con badge, flight fare, food, and hotel bills, not to mention emergency money or spending money. However, this amount tends to vary, especially if you're not rooming with friends or roommates that will help you to cover the hotel room expenses. Hotel rooms can go as high as $150 a night depending on the hotel and location, so sharing with a room of 4 helps to bring down the price. Saving money where you can is imperative, so keep an eye out for flight, hotel deals, and of course food deals, and start saving months in advance.
Whoa. Slow your roll, Skittlecorn. I got this. Now, some of you may think, oh, I'll save like, 300 or 400 buckaroos or something and think you'll be hunky-dunky-dory. Wrong. Everything in a con you go to, whether it's a hotel or convention center, I got 3 words for you, pal. You gotta pay. Eating out? You gotta pay. Parking? You gotta pay. Starbucks? Oh, you gotta pay. Trust me, have you seen the prices for just a Frappuccino there? It's nuts. Oh, and of course, waiting in line for 3 hours to meet your favorite voice actor with a bunch of other sweaty mooks all bunched in together like a can of sardines and hoping to get your favorite piece of merch signed by them? Well, I don't recommend it, but you still gotta pay. No matter what you think you're prepared for at these cons, you best get prepared, though, to be nickel and dimed by literally everything.
Also, do yourself a favor and buy your badge online if you can. Buying a badge on day 1 of any major event risks the likelihood of the price going up higher due to demand of attendees. With all this accounted for, based off my experience, it's best to begin saving half a year in advance at least. Think of that about covers it and... what the? Oh, seems we got some additional tips here. From Aeon? How did he... Meh. Anyways, Aeon's tips include: depending on the con, the hotel should be reserved in advance. Most of them don't charge anything for the reservation. At BronyCon, hotels like the Hilton can be sold out of rooms before the year is even over. So if you plan on going, reserve early. When it comes to flight tickets, some travel sites review your search history and web cache. This can be getting around by using incognito mode while going to travel sites for the cheapest flight, or erasing your cache and web history if you don't want to use the incognito mode. Love, Lucifer. Well then, thank you, Aeon. And the moral to this era, pony, be sure to start saving early. Packing. Congratulations! You've successfully planned out and paid for your trip's expenses. Now you need to start packing. It is imperative you bring the essentials, like the toothbrush, hygiene needs, clothes, undergarments, etc. Normally for me, I tend to pack my large bag with all my needed items. Make a list, it helps you to keep track. However, if you're a cosplayer, it might be best to bring an additional bag to pack separately that you can take with you on your flight or car or whichever.
Get in the bag, Blissy. Get in the bag!
So you're traveling by car means the second most popular way of getting into a con. Be aware of gas prices as you go, and if you are carpooling with friends, please remind them to help pitch in for gas. They are getting a free ride. The least they can do is help you out with the gas money. But when it comes to airline travels, there are a lot of things to consider. Flying means you'll have to plan ahead for the airport. Always try to get at least 2 hours early to any airport, otherwise you run the risk of missing your flight. Delays occur all the time at airports. There could be problems with checking in your bags, long lines through security checkpoints, weather delays, passenger delays, etc. So be sure to get to the airport at least 2 hours early. And when it comes to your bags, don't argue with the flight staff. They have rules to follow in order to keep everyone safe. So if they ask you to do something like empty your bags or take off your shoes, please comply. They want you to get on with your day just as much as you do. Do not pack any liquids or foods into your carry-on bags. I cannot stress this enough of how people attempt to do this and are surprised to find out they can't and get all huffy about it. If you are hungry or thirsty, eat before you go to the airport. Or wait till you get to your gate and buy something in the waiting area. Be brisk, be cooperative, and be respectful of your other fellow flyers. They have places to go too. The 6-2-1 rule. I don't want to talk about this. Do I gotta? Okay. So you finally made it to your hotel and the convention. You're about ready to go and check things out, right? Wrong! There's the 6-2-1 rule that you need to follow first. Much as I hate to admit it, but it is a well-known rule that every con goer should follow because it will help you to avoid the dreaded con crowd! So what is the 6-2-1 rule exactly? It's a list of hours you should follow. 6 as in 6 hours of sleep, 2 as in 2 meals a day, and 1 as in 1 shower every day during your time at the convention. Following the 6-2-1 rule is imperative if you are walking around other people for long hours on end. You are exposed to all sorts of germs or elements that can easily wear down your body if you aren't careful. So if you aren't big on keeping up with washing your hands every time or carrying a hand sanitizer wherever you go, then the 6-2-1 rule will be your survival necessity to getting out without getting sick. For those of us who want to go that extra mile though, you can bring vitamins, drink plenty of water, have medicine like Advil on standby, and of course, keep a bottle of sanitizer with you. Why sanitizer? Because you're going to be hanging out with a lot of people, probably shaking a lot of hands, meeting new faces, touching things that thousands of other people have touched before you. Trust me, it will help you in the long run. Speaking of people, behaving around your idols. So you're at the con, and you see your favorite cosplayers, or reviewers, or actors, or voice actors, and you really want to talk to them, or get an autograph, or a picture taken. You're about ready to rush over. Senpai, notice me! Yeah, don't do that. Look, it's understandable to be excited to see your idols, but you gotta remember they are people too who are trying to enjoy the con as well. With cosplayers, there's no reason to be as hesitant because they love to get pictures with fans or talk about their costume. So don't be afraid to go up and ask for a picture or get their autograph. I'm sure they'd be more than happy to oblige. But remember to always ask first. Some people can be shy and have limitations, and being hugged by a total random stranger without warning can be scary and off-putting. So always remember to communicate your intentions first, and if they say no, then respect their wishes and move on. Trust me, there are plenty of cosplayers at cons that would love to hang out or meet you. However, with actors, or in my case, brony analysis ponies, we tend to be very welcoming to fans or onlookers, but we also have limits as well. If asked, we will happily give out autographs, answer questions. Some of us are even happy to take pictures with the fans. However, the one thing I notice about fans is knowing when it's time to move on or back away. No offense to all you fanfic writers or shippers who want to make fanfic writings, but we reviewers or actors simply don't have the time to spend 2 hours listening to your ideas. Because, believe it or not, some of us have places to be, like hosting panels, or selling at our vendor table, or other fans want our attention too. You aren't the only one looking forward to seeing us, so try to be fair and understanding. It's not unknown that fans want to get close and hope to become friends with us and hang out and be our bestest buddies ever, but this is not how friendship works. Sure, it's how they can start, but both parties have to agree. So when us brony reviewers are trying to take a breather and plan out our dinner activities, please don't assume you can self-insert and attend with us. If we invite you, then of course come along. But if we ask you to give us some space, please be respectful and comply. Gonna be real here for a minute. Some of us reviewers are a tight group of friends whom developed our friendships over the years. Friendships aren't made overnight, and for random strangers or fans to come up and follow us around constantly can be very scary for us. Imagine you had that one person or two constantly following around you to every panel you went to a vendor hall, to the bathroom, where you go to eat, even to your hotel room. This wouldn't be very comfortable for you now, would it? No. This is something that can be easily labeled as stalking. Again, we brony reviewers or actors love to meet our fans, shake their hands, give out autographs, and even take pictures. But later on, we need time to ourselves too. So please, respect when we ask you to take a step back or to move on, or have the common courtesy to do that on your own before we have to tell you otherwise. Following us around constantly can lead to sad or uncomfortable situations, such as having to contact con security. Which leads me to my final tip. Safety. There are plenty of ways to get hurt or in trouble at conventions. Even at PonyCons, this is apparent. Your money could be stolen, or you have no means of keeping in contact with your friends or family. Injured in a crowd. The list can go on. Always be prepared should things go crazy. Best way to do so is to know who you can go to for help. There are con security attendees throughout every convention, so if you need any help, don't be afraid to ask them or con staff. This is why they are here. It's their job. Staying in a group or attending the con with a friend is highly recommended. It's understandable that some want to be the lone wolf, but you run a higher risk of getting in trouble. The likelihood of getting hurt or your things stolen goes up significantly if a lawbreaker sees a lone pony walking the streets by themselves. If you are carrying large amounts of money, keep it close to your person at all times. And do not, I repeat, do not walk the streets outside the convention at night alone. But if you have to, be sure there are a lot of people around you when you go. Lawbreakers tend to avoid a herd of ponies easily. That said, this has been my survival guide for any of you first con goers. I do hope this information has been helpful or beneficial. If of course you have any questions or concerns, feel free to drop a word in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Keep an eye out for those rainbows. They will make you smile.